Welcome to Blind Abilities. We got an exciting show today bringing you Lex Gillette. I'm going to call him the Journeyman. He's a 4-time Paralympic champion. He's got 3 golds, 3 silvers, 2 bronze, world record holder. The list goes on. Yeah, he's the real Journeyman. You'll probably do pretty good because last time you were late for your track meet, you broke the world record, so.
I need that type of luck again. I got a track meet on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you're taking time out to podcast?
I'll do anything for you guys, Jeff.
And introducing Mitch Smedley. I'm going to call him the apprentice, as he's just starting out his big league athletic career, and he's been invited out to Colorado Springs by the United States Association of Blind Athletes to attend the Emerging Stars Camp. Hey Lex, I got a sports fanatic that heard you were coming on the Blind Abilities, and he just got accepted to the Stars ID camp out in Colorado Springs.
Oh.
And he wanted to ask you a couple questions and meet up with you. So let me introduce you to Mitch Smedley.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Hey, I got a lot of answers, and hopefully they'll satisfy your questions.
There you go.
Yeah, it's great to meet you.
That's nice to meet you, too. Where are you out of, Mitch?
I'm just outside of Philadelphia.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm in Chula Vista right now, about 20 minutes south of downtown San Diego. But I'm originally from the East Coast. I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina. So I've been to Philly a few times.
Yeah.
Are you a cheesesteak guy?
I do not like cheesecakes. Or cheesesteak, sorry.
Oh.
Well, that's a game breaker. Sorry, Mitch. Podcast is over.
Yeah, if you're going to Colorado Springs for a little ID, I don't think cheesesteak is going to be on the regimen.
No.
But they might have one of Lex's favorite, Fruit Loops.
I am a Fruit Loop guy, unfortunately, but we can't broadcast that too loudly.
No.
That's your training secret.
Exactly.
So what happens when you put a journeyman and an apprentice together? Well, a very good conversation. And if you check the show notes, you'll find a link to the Lex Gillette podcast we did in November 2017. And for more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities, and download the free Blind Abilities app from the App Store and Google Play Store. That's 2 words, Blind Abilities. And try out the Blind Abilities skill on your Amazon device just by saying, Enable Blind Abilities. And now, please welcome Lex Gillette and Mitch Smedley. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and in the studio with me today is a 4-time Olympian, 3 golds, 3 silvers, 2 bronze. The list goes on and on. We got Lex Gillette. How you doing, Lex?
I'm doing good, Jeff. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking the time and coming on to Blind Abilities and chatting with the listeners.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. I'm excited.
You're in training, I bet.
I am in training 5 days a week right now. It's competition season actually right now. We just returned from Italy last evening. Yeah, just trying to get acclimated back to Pacific Standard Time. And at this present time, just try to stay awake and make sure that I can get a good night's rest tonight. That jet lag is no joke.
And you got something coming up this Saturday.
We do have a competition here, a local one here in Chula Vista, California, and I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be my 3rd time long jumping this year, so it'll be nice to get back out there in the sand, play a little bit, see how far I can jump.
Now, we did an interview of talking about all your accolades, all your competition, all that, but could you remind the listeners what competition you participate in?
I'm primarily a long jumper, so compete in long jump. That's where you run down a runway and jump and go as far as you can. So you want to jump for length. And then I also run the 100 meters, and we do have a 4x100 meter relay team that I've been a part of for the past few years. So they try to keep me busy.
Mm-hmm. You hold the world record.
Yes, the world record in the long jump is 22 feet 1 inch or 6.73 meters. Set that initially in 2011 and then tied it again in 2015. So, the luck of the draw, I jumped the exact same mark in 2015 at the Toronto Pan American Games. Yeah, it's been standing since then. So, this year I'm looking to do some big things. So hopefully I'll be able to break that at some point this year.
It's nice when you have to break your own record.
Yeah, but there's always people out there trying to knock you off your spot. So just got to continue to work hard and kind of push yourself. Never take anything for granted. Just keep working hard and doing what you can to be the best and break those records.
Well, you speak from a lot of experience. You started in 2004, 2008, 2012, 16. Now you got 2020, Tokyo, Japan in your future.
Absolutely. That is the goal, going to Tokyo next year, representing Team USA for a 5th consecutive time at the Paralympic Games. So that's definitely pretty exciting. It's something that I'll certainly be proud of, assuming that I make the team. We have our trials next summer. So that's the competition that we have to go there and do everything that we need to do from an athletic standpoint, compete to the best of your ability and put yourself in the best position to make that team. So I look forward to being able to travel to Japan. I've never been to Tokyo, going in there, competing, having a good time, and then celebrating the goal, hopefully.
Oh, there you go. USA, right?
The USA all day.
That must be fun. I mean, the experience that you have doing it the first time was probably just wow, wowed by it the second time. What's it like now?
You can't really take it for granted because there's so many talented people. As years go on, they get stronger, they get faster, and they want to be on that top platform. They want to be up there with the gold medal around their neck. So as an individual athlete, I try to make sure that I continue to stay hungry and just remember how it was in 2004 and 2008 when I was really working my butt off trying to make those teams and never really losing that drive and that determination and that will. I think once we get into these areas of life where we become complacent and just going through the motions, that's where we can get into a little bit of trouble. So just always trying to stay hungry and, appreciate the journey. Definitely have some tough days, have a lot of fun days, have good competitions, bad competitions, but you take it all in and just continue to keep going and know that tomorrow's a new day. Get out there, and the goal is to, be better than what you were the day before the last competition. So it's certainly a lot of fun, and I appreciate it for sure. Something I don't take for granted.
Lex, last time you were on, and I just love it. You said the difference between sight and vision.
Yeah, I think that a lot of it revolves around sight, showing us what is, that's what you see. It's a function of the eyes. Vision reveals what can be. That's your mind. That's your heart. They are two totally different things. And, sight, it can only carry you, but so far vision can carry you to the end of time. Myself, when I roll out of the bed each morning, that's that vision that really keeps me going. Thinking about winning gold in 2020 or thinking about what I want my life to look like 15, 20 years down the road and how I want to impact the world. That's what really keeps that fire lit internally.
And in the studio right now, we have a young man with a vision of his own. I'd like to introduce you to Mitch Smedley. He's been invited out to Colorado Springs to participate in the Stars ID camp. He loves sports, loves athletics, and he's a goalball enthusiast. Welcome aboard, Mitch. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me.
What's going on, Mitch? How are you?
I am so good. So it's an honor to meet you. It is. I mean, someone that's been there so many times and, world record holder. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. So I'm really thankful for you guys having me on today.
Oh, man, it's great to be chatting with you.
Well, Mitch, I'll back away from the mic here, and Lex is all yours.
Mainly just how do you keep yourself contained in terms of how do you not always go for, seconds and thirds, and how do you always, just stay in shape? I guess you're exercising every day. What's your routine kind of like in that department?
I think a lot of it is really having that discipline as an athlete. You know that when it comes to training, there's a certain routine that you follow. For me, I know that I go to the track, I take 30, 45 minutes to warm up, and then we have an actual workout that our coach puts together, and it could be us running 100-meter repeats or working on runway approaches, or it could be working on actual jumps. So there's so many different things, but as an athlete that you have to discipline yourself. You have to make sure that you show up, you do what is asked of you, and you put forth the best effort. And along with that comes having discipline and being able to get rest and recovery, being able to get the adequate amount of sleep, doing what you can from that standpoint so that you'll be able to be in a position to come out on Tuesday and have a phenomenal workout just like you did on Monday and coming out on Wednesday and having a great workout like you did on Tuesday. And it goes the same with your nutrition, having that discipline to, not get those seconds or thirds, or not eating that, the extra sugars or the unhealthy products, the chips and snacky type things. Because at the end of the day, I talk a lot about vision and being able to see your destination, where you want to end up. And when you're so locked into that vision kind of helps create that discipline for you, because you know that if you are shooting for a goal, eating the Doritos or, pints of Ben and Jerry's and things like that, it might not be the best thing for you in getting on the top of that platform. So having that discipline, choosing the right foods, making sure you get the right amount of rest, doing what you need to do on the track, off of the track, inside of sports med, inside of the weight room, and, having that tunnel vision, if you will, staying locked into what that ultimate goal is, I think is really what is key in helping you achieve athletic excellence.
Okay.
Mitch, you're headed out to the Stars ID camp. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. A month or two ago, my mom came to me and said, hey, I just saw this link for this blind sports Stars ID camp for the U.S. Paralympic team. And immediately I put down whatever I was doing. And I'm like, whoa, really? Like, that's crazy. And she's like, yeah, and we're going to send in an application. I'm like, okay. So with her help, and actually the help of the folks over at Camp Abilities, because I go there every year, and that's a blind sports camp out here in Pennsylvania. They have them all over the country for those that are interested. We actually had some of the folks there actually kind of be our sort of references. And we sent in our application, and came back at the end of May that they accepted me, and I'm going to go play all the sports out in Colorado. And really the one I'm most excited for that I put in my application is goalball. Lex, I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Yep.
The blind sport goalball. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. For those that don't know, it's almost like blind dodgeball, but you're trying to score a goal. And it's going to be awesome this summer. So I've been exercising every day, starting to eat right, or at least a little better than I have been, and just getting ready for it.
No, that's really exciting. I remember, years ago when I was first starting off and trying to figure out what sport that I wanted to participate in, I was invited out to Colorado Springs to be involved in some goalball tryouts. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really hard being there in Colorado Springs because of the elevation. So, certainly want to make sure you stay hydrated. And goalball, yes, it's a lot of fun. Diving on the ground and blocking that ball. And again, for the listeners, the ball, it has bells inside of it, so you're able to hear it, and that's how the athletes are able to track the ball down. It was a rude awakening for me because I had played goalball in high school and had been invited to compete at the Goalball Nationals that was down in St. Augustine, Florida a couple times. And my team, we had won the championship my senior year. So I'm thinking that, next level, this is going to be nothing. I just got done going to the top of the mountain, and then we go to Colorado Springs, and then you have all of these, the Tyler Marins of the world and Chris Dodds and all these other guys, and they're slinging this ball. And I'm out there, I'm like 135 pounds and the ball is like killing me. It really, it really woke me up, and I was like, man, these guys are not playing right now. So it's a lot of fun. It's a very competitive sport. I checked it out in Rio in 2016. So I was there when the guys won the silver. It was a really, really awesome experience. And it's a very competitive sport, very fun. I think the crowds love it as well. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, the only tough part for the crowd is that they have to stay quiet during the ball's in play,
I know. That was hard for some of the crowds there in Brazil. Yeah.
They throw that ball pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
They're firing it.
And it's a heavy ball, too. For those that don't know, it's about the size of a basketball, but I'd say it's at least twice as heavy as one. And these guys are just winging it down this court. The goal is to block it with your body. Like, you don't use your hands or a glove or anything. You're blocking it with your body. And sometimes that's your face.
We also have to mention that the court is the size of like a volleyball court. So when these guys are slinging this ball, it's covering a pretty short distance, and they're throwing this thing, I don't know, like 40 miles an hour. Like that thing is moving fast, and your reflexes, you have to be moving fast. You got to get on the ground fast to block this ball. It's a very exciting sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of reflexes and endurance, and then you have to get back up, and then you got to throw it back down there. And for those that don't know, everyone's blindfolded. There's 3 people on a team, so all 6 players are blindfolded. And the court has tape lines with rope under them so that you can feel your way around the court to orient yourself. So that's another whole aspect of the game. Once you block it, try to find where you started. It takes a lot of practice.
That's awesome. Congratulations on going out there, getting your application, starting your journey, just like Lex did.
Thank you.
Lex, You just got back from Italy, and now you're jet lagging, trying to get back ready. How tough is that for someone to go to Italy, come back, then compete the next following weekend?
It's tough. I think, I mean, you may be able to speak to this, but, for me, it's hard, being, basically totally blind and traveling to these different places in the world where you're 9-10 hours ahead. And so sometimes I'm over in these different countries and my body is still on West Coast time. So I'm there. My body is thinking that it's 4:00 in the afternoon in California, but in Italy, it's 1:00 in the morning. So I'm wide awake, which I need to be asleep because I have to get ready for practice or for competition. So that's hard at times. Definitely have taken my fair share of melatonin to kind of help out with that, get me in a space where I can get some good sleep. But really, it's just all about trying to, move around as much as possible during those daytime hours. And then once it's time to lay down, get in there and get in bed and try to, get some good sleep. So right now, we got back pretty late yesterday, and I actually have not been asleep since yesterday. And I'm going to hold on for the next 6-7 hours or so. And hopefully I can do that. And when it's time to get in my bed, when I lay my head on this pillow, hopefully I'll knock out.
There you go. You learn how to do it, don't you? Fight through it and stay up.
Yeah.
Keep exercising. Watch some TV. I don't know.
Man, something you got to keep it moving. Because you want to get back on that schedule again. Because the next day you got to get back to your daily routine. So you certainly don't want to be out there falling asleep at the wheel.
Lex, you still an IRA Explorer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love IRA.
Well, that's great because when you were on Blind Abilities 2 years ago, you had just become an IRA Explorer and you went shopping. And like I said, I promised I wouldn't mention Fruit Loops. So I'll keep that on the down low. And you continue as an IRA Explorer today.
Yes, absolutely. Still continuing to use IRA. IRA is it's phenomenal. It's definitely helping me and continuing to strengthen that independence and, it empowers me and puts me in a position where I can take care of all of my daily tasks. And, when I'm traveling, if I need IRA to help me through the airport, it's there. One click of the call button in the app and I have somebody who can help me get from where the Uber drops me off to the United ticket counter. Some of my more recent travels have taken me to places where I've needed to have the menu read, like the in-room dining menu. And I've had Ira there to be able to give me that feedback on what the selections are and, being able to even help me through the hotel. So Ira is amazing. I would certainly suggest it to anyone in the blind and visually impaired community because it really opens up a whole new world. Just being able to access information, being able to maneuver, to navigate, to travel. It's really phenomenal.
I was out in Washington, D.C., and I had to do some edits and I had to do some vocal cuts. I had to put them in, but I had to record it. And this air conditioning unit that was going on all the time was just bugging me because it was always coming on. So even if I would turn it down, the air would come on. If I turn it up, the heat would come on. So I couldn't find that middle zone. So I thought, hey, I got IRA and I'm on the $29 plan where you get 30 minutes.
Yep.
And I turned it on. Within seconds, I had it shut off and I was back recording. I didn't have to call down to the hotel clerk or anybody or get some stranger to come into the room or anything. And
right.
It was just a simple button, but there's 4 of them. I didn't know which one.
Exactly. And I've called them before too and asked them to help me change the thermostat because I don't like to be super cold. It's simple as that. Call them up and they'll let you know what thermostat is on and how to change that. So it's really incredible.
Yeah. Mitch, have you ever heard of IRA?
I have actually heard of it, but I haven't ever used it. But it sounds like an amazing program and like something that really is kind of the future today. And it's just a great idea, people helping people do things that, you wouldn't even think about, like you said, turning that air conditioner off or changing your thermostat. Like most sighted people don't think about things. It's those little everyday things that we blind and visually impaired people struggle with. And I think that IRA is really a great way to kind of neutralize that.
And you know what? I'll tell you something really cool. I went to IKEA for the first time last year. And I was looking for a cabinet, like some drawers for putting like my clothes and things like that. So we go to IKEA and I find one of the cabinets that I like. I didn't realize that when you purchase things from IKEA, it's not assembled. So, I pay for it and things like that. And, we get it home. And so I'm sitting there like, all right, well, how in the world am I going to put this together? I have, a few screwdrivers and things like that. And I was just going to ask one of my friends to help me. But I said, you know what? This will be a really awesome experience. Let me call up Ira and see if I can get them to help me. And I was determined to put that thing together. And with the help of two agents, I had one agent, but their shift ended up concluding while we were on the call. And I just called in and got another person. But I was able to successfully put that, those drawers together. And it is right here in my room. It's operating just fine. It's perfect. I have all of my things in there. And, that was one of my glory moments that I was really, really proud of, and putting that together with the help of Ira. So they're really incredible. There's nothing that is unattainable. I mean, they really
That's awesome.
Provide access to everything.
Well, it's really neat that I think for someone who hasn't tried it, now I've tried it, so I can't say I haven't tried it anymore. But if you go to like a Walgreens, a Target, or some other places where you can use it for free, you just take out your phone. It's a free app. You get to experience it. Once you get that experience, it's like, okay, let me try. I think when you get the app, you get free 30 minutes for 7 days that you can try. And so you can get some experience. Yeah, don't take my word on that, but I think that's still going. Yeah, for $29, I get 30 minutes. So I make use of them.
Yeah. You'll easily get hooked. And, on their site, AIRA.io, there's a list of all of the access points that they have. So Jeff was mentioning, how you can download the app. And when you enter certain geofences, you're able to use the service for free. So Walgreens, certain Targets, and then certain airports within the country. So San Diego, I fly out of there a lot. So when I'm in the range of San Diego Airport, I'm able to use Ira for free. I think I don't know if the San Diego Zoo is an access point yet, but some of the museums and things like that. So even though you may not have a subscription, there still may be an access point in your area, and you could download Ira, try it out, and explore the city.
There you go, Mitch. We're putting the screws to you.
It's making me think. I got to try it.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to try it. Now, I collect record albums, vintage record albums, and I can't go to the places and sift through the albums like I used to. So my next plan is to figure out a way to have the phone tilted just right and just flip, and do like I used to do. That should be fun. Lex, as you keep training 5 days a week, you're headed towards Tokyo. That's the big goal, but you got a lot of stuff going on in between. I want to wish you all the luck. And, you don't need the luck, but...
everybody needs a little luck every now and then. A lot of it is skill, of course. There's nothing wrong with a little luck. I'll take all the luck I can get.
Well, there you go. Lex, last time you were on, I asked the question, what advice would you have for a high school student transitioning into college? You gave such a great answer.
I would say at that age, I was just trying to learn as much as possible, reading as much as possible, talking to people, just learning as much as you can, because I feel like what that does is the more that you learn and the more that you're exposed to, that allows you to expand your reach. And when you're able to have all of that knowledge and to have all of those resources available to you, it increases your opportunities. And I think it points to a phrase I like to say, that the further that you can see, the more you can be. I can't express how important it is to, really just go out there and just to try different things. And, sometimes you're going to feel a little uncomfortable, but the one thing that I do know is that when you have those moments where you feel a little discomfort or things are out of your comfort zone, you're on the cusp of something amazing when you have those moments, because you're really expanding your reach.
We've been talking to Lex Gillette. He's the world record holder for the long jump, multiple gold, silver, bronze medalist, 4-time Olympian, and he's got a vision, a goal, Tokyo, Japan, August of 2020. And Mitch Smedley, goalball enthusiast, headed off to Colorado for the first time for the Stars ID camp. I want to thank you both for taking the time and coming on the Blind Abilities. Thank you very much for coming on.
Yes, Mitch. You know what? Mitch, I want to wish you all the best. Definitely good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Be a phenomenal experience. Soak it all in. be a sponge, learn as much as possible. I mean, this is where, myself and a lot of athletes, this is where it all starts. And you can never take these moments for granted. Really go out there and give it your all. You're obviously somebody who they deemed worthy of this opportunity. So go in there and own it. Have a good time. We'll be looking forward to hearing some good things out of that.
All right. Thank you so much. And yeah, you keep it up with your competition this weekend. And like Jeff said, next year in Tokyo and beyond.
I appreciate it.
Bring home another gold.
That's the plan.
Well, thank you very much. I think the advice you're giving is very transferable. I think people can take this advice and actually apply it to the challenges that they're putting upon themselves today. And Mitch, enjoy Colorado. And as Lex says, gather all the information you can. Soak it up. And Lex, keep up all the good work that you're doing. And thanks for taking the time and chatting with Mitch. And I want to thank both of you for taking the time and talking to the listeners. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. I'll be looking forward for you having me back on.
Lex, we'll leave the mic on for you. You as well, Mitch.
All right. Thank you so much.
It's always a great time having Lex Gillette in the studio, and for the first time having Mitch Smedley in the studio as well. I'm sure it won't be the last time, so we'll probably be following up with these two athletes, the Journeyman and the Apprentice. Be sure to check out the show notes for the links and check out your state services for the blind, your vocational rehab, and see what they can do for you. A big thank you goes out to Chichow for his beautiful music, and you can find him on Twitter at LChichow. Chichow. I'd like to thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see
through each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the realities of blind abilities.
The realities of blind
abilities.
For more podcasts with a blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities. Download our app from the App Store, blindabilities, that's 2 words, or send us an email at info@blindabilities.com. Thanks for listening.